Alright, hey folks, good morning. Thank you for joining into our mobility and flexibility class. Well needed for me today. I'm in a new location. I'm actually up in the Tahoe area. So, yeah, we'll be working from our chair to begin. And then as we progress into the class, we will line up this video a little bit more. We will go into some standing. Let me just correct this. There we go. We will be standing up, doing some stretches standing, and then we'll finish off with the floor. And I usually finish off with the floor exercises just because sometimes I do have folks that would rather not do the floor exercises just because of the discomfort of the floor. So before we get to those, I want to get everything else done so they could go on their way if they choose to. So let's go ahead and begin with our facial exercises. So let's open our mouth as wide as we can. Tilt your head upward. Close your mouth by pulling your chin towards your nose. Hello, how are you? So let's open, up, and pull. You'll feel that stretch here, okay? So we'll go ahead and begin. We'll do 8 of those. So open wide. Got 3 more. Hello, Sona. And last one. Very good. All right, let's start with our neck. We'll transition back and forth with some facial exercises in our neck. So let's look left to right. So last week when we met, my neck was really tight. Upper back and shoulders are really sore. Mainly tight, but it feels like it's like 90-95% gone. So I don't really feel it. I just feel it when I'm being a bit careless and I'm just leaning down, looking into my phone a little bit too long. Let's look up and down. But yeah, glad most of that pain has subsided. All right, let's go ahead and gently palpate from our earlobes to the side of our jaw. This is the length of our jaw. And then just a reminder, fall term classes have opened in case you'd like to register for those. I have 4 classes. And then another reminder, if you happen to be enrolled in my Wednesday class this week, we won't be meeting live, but I will post a workout video in lieu of the Zoom session. So you can just go down here. Now the side of your eyes, gently palpate. You can do your forehead as well. And again, this is just promoting a little bit of activity to the blood vessels that are on the top layer of your skin. And with new blood usually comes new nutrients, so to improve that area. And then with the knuckles, just gently rotate on your cheeks. I'm going to check the chat, and always feel free to leave me a comment or a question on the chat, or you could always unmute yourself. Good morning. I have you under Prague B. I'm not sure that's the name, but yeah, we just want to say hello. Very good. All right, let's go ahead and we're gonna inhale through our nose for about 3 or 4 seconds. Make a small little windpipe through your lips, and then we're gonna exhale everything through there. So you do this enough, you're gonna get fatigued. So the goal is not to become fatigued and pass out, it's just to really exert and work on your diaphragm. So inhale. Small little windpipe. Exhale. All of it. You should feel that getting tight. We don't want to have open our mouth wide and then just go. We don't want to do that. We want to release it. Again. Very good. Two more. One more. Perfect. All right, let's go ahead and work with our facial features. So this one, we're gonna go ahead and just do a chin tuck. So you're gonna bring your chin up into your neck. That's gonna decompress your spine a little bit and also get a little bit of stretch on the muscles around your spine. So let's go ahead and do that. So chin tucks. So here, and relax, and then and relax. You almost like wanna like pin your chin into your chest. That's what we're looking for. Relax. Very good. Keep it going. So chin. And one more. Ooh, excuse me. All right, we're gonna look left. So turn left and add a little bit of pressure to your chin. Just add a little bit of pressure there. And just hold that for about 20 seconds. With deeper breaths, you might be able to rotate a little bit more. So just continue to do that. So use your hands for that. So, morning, Gina. So, go this way, add pressure. Very good. Now we're gonna turn right, look to your right, and add pressure to that left chin. And we just wanna get that stretch on this side of the muscle. Awesome, very good. Let's go ahead and sit on our left hand. So we're gonna tuck in our hand under our leg. That's gonna keep this shoulder fixed. Bring your right hand over and allow the weight of your arm to stretch out this side of your neck, okay? So just gentle, you don't wanna strain anything. Good. Relax. Sit on that right hand. Left hand comes over. And again, now we're stretching that opposite side of the neck. Very good. Next, we're gonna use both our hands over our head. And then we don't want to rotate our trunk. We just want to stretch out our neck. So just allow the weight of your arms. Drop those elbows and slight tilt with your head, getting a nice neck stretch. And relax. Very good. All right, we're gonna do snow angels. So snow angels, we're gonna go right here and then come back. I'm gonna back up a little bit. I feel like I'm really close. Do it slowly. The slower you do it, the better. And try to also reach out. So you don't want to be tucked in right here. You want to be reaching, really stretching out those muscles on your back and your shoulder. Okay, very good. All right, next we're gonna go ahead, place our hands at our sides. Our thumbs are facing your body or each other, and we're just gonna go up and down. You're gonna feel that right here. Very good. Great. Right. I'm gonna just rotate. You folks could stay right there, but I'm just gonna rotate so you can see. I'm gonna do shoulder circles. Okay, so shoulders come up, forward, down, and back. And just repeat that motion. Right, now in reverse. So go backwards, down, forward, up, back, down, up, back. Great. Okay. So from there, we're gonna go with our cat scratching pose. So I'm gonna sit towards the front of the chair so have some space between your legs. So you wanna make sure your feet aren't together like this. You wanna have your feet a little bit separated so your torso could fit between, okay? So we're here, we're gonna reach up, reach, 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 go, and then come back. All right, so slow it down if you feel like you're getting dizzy. So just slow down the pace. You really wanna reach. And let's repeat. Let's do 3 more. Two more. Last one. Very good. Awesome. Okay, I'm just gonna rotate back. So here we wanna make a fist, so both hands together. You're gonna come here, right in front of you. You're gonna look down. And once you look down, you wanna punch forward. Okay, so from the side, it's gonna look like this. I look down, then punch. You're gonna feel that on your back, okay? All right, so we're gonna do 12 of those. Ready? And begin. So down, punch, 1, down, punch, 2, down, punch, 3, down, punch, 4, 5, down, punch, 6. If you want to take a little rest your arms, and we'll do another 6. Cause yeah, that gets tiring. So right, when you're ready, you can do your other 6. So going here, 7, 8, 9, 3 more, 10, 11, and 12. Ooh, arms feel like jelly. Okay, let's go ahead and rest them a little bit. Okay, so what we could do while our arms are resting, we could do our trunk rotations. So for this one, I'm just gonna sit or grab a hold of a chair and my back rest, and I'm just gonna gently rotate my torso. Okay, so you don't want to hurt yourself, just gentle. It shouldn't be uncomfortable. And with every breath, you should relax a little bit more, then you might get a little bit more rotation. All right, let's go ahead and switch. Turn the other way. Reach a little more. And relax. Awesome. Okay. Let's go single arm windmills. So just getting as much rotation on that right shoulder. Just make sure it's comfortable. Anyone do anything fun this weekend? Thing would like to share? It's getting warmer, right? I'm here in the mountains and I thought I was gonna escape the heat, but it's actually warmer here than it is back home. Let's go in reverse. Switch. Left arm. Let's go in reverse. My left shoulder pops when I do this one. It doesn't hurt, but it just pops. And it snaps sometimes. All right, rest the shoulders a little bit because those could get tired. So arms here, and then just bring and tap your opposite shoulder, okay? So this is just gonna work a little bit of flexibility of your elbow joint. So just make sure that you're not doing this here. You're keeping your elbows at your side and it's just your forearm that's moving. Let's rotate our palms backwards. And now we're pressing up and down. Very good. Okay, so our arms are getting worked. So again, we want to let things recover so they don't start aching. So while our arms and our shoulders are recovering, let's go ahead and work on our wrists and our forearms. So let's go ahead and collapse. Allow your wrists to go past your knees. So you're gonna have this. So the next one, we're gonna push down with my left hand. You're gonna try to push up as well. That's gonna work on your forearm, okay? So push down and try to push up with your bottom hand and allow it to, so that forearm does flex. Okay, so you're here pushing down, adding a little bit of pressure, and then come up. Okay. Let's do 6 of those. So go at your own pace. Each one should take about 5 seconds. I'm just gonna check the chat. All right, thanks for sharing. So dance school, open house, and classes all day yesterday. Oof. That'll keep you busy. Nice, productive. Let's switch. So now let's go left hand. Yeah, we're enjoying the trip. It's about the only time we get to travel before we're locked in back home until December. Let's do 2 more. We may go floating down the Truckee River today, so it's only supposed to be like 2 or 3 feet deep. So I think if we flip over, we could just stand up and be fine. So we're gonna go ahead and bring the right wrist past our knee and just bring each finger to the center of your hand and try not to bend the knuckles. Okay, so each finger should be individually moving and completely straight. Okay, after we've done a series of like 15 to 20 of these, let's go ahead and do each one, but now we want to bend the knuckles, okay? Does anyone have pain with any of these? Okay, good. The one with the bending the knuckles is challenging because all your other fingers want to move at the same time, but this just helps with the nerve system. Okay, now we want to close a fist and open them, separate the tendons or the fingers away from each other. Don't just open your hand, but really try to separate your fingers away from each other. So that's working on the little tendons between the fingers. Okay, this helps with grip strength and then just having more mobility around your hand. Hopefully prevent some type of like arthritis or cramps. Okay, let's go left hand. So left hand, each finger straight. Has anyone been to Tahoe before? That's in class, Lake Tahoe? Each hand, each finger individually. All right, and then now each finger bending the knuckles, okay? So this one just keeps you a little bit more engaged. Yeah, every finger wants to move. It's like they each have their own brain. All right, and then close your hand, open them, separate the tendons or the fingers from each other. Right, and then let's just do little gentle circles with our wrists. We don't want to be too aggressive and just make them really tired. So just be gentle. Little circles. Change the direction. So go counterclockwise. Okay, and then go in and out. And then up and down. All right, we're gonna go back to the shoulders, work on the shoulders a little bit. So let's bring up the right shoulder. I'm gonna keep my hand here just to kind of let me know if I'm collapsing that elbow. Sometimes if you're not paying attention, you could end up down here. So I'm gonna go here and then just drop that forearm down and then up, down. And we're gonna go right now with some stand-up movements. So we'll get on our feet, we'll take a little water break, and then, and then we'll finish off with the chair, and then back on our feet, and then on the floor eventually. All right, let's switch here. Very good. Okay. Next, we're gonna go ahead and continue with our shoulders. Just give me, my watch is falling off. Excuse me. Okay, so for our shoulders, elbows here, and then out. Here. So this is working more on our back than our shoulders. And go as far wide as you can. So if you're just stopping here, that's not doing much. I'm gonna go as far back. Very good. All right. And the last one before we're gonna transition to our feet is a Pallof press. So this we're gonna squeeze our hands together real hard, like if you're trying to go through them. So push, and as you're pushing, also push forward. Okay, and then come back, continue pushing, push. One more. All right, very good. All right, let's take a quick 1 minute water break, and then we're gonna start with our stand-up exercises, okay? Or stretches. So I'm just gonna give myself a little bit more room. But you can grab some water. Alrighty, let me tilt this camera a little bit more. Alright, so we're just gonna begin with some of our stand-up stretches. So let's go ahead and do some standing reaches, okay? So from here, we're gonna reach up to the ceiling, and at the same time, reach with your heels, okay? So lift the heels off the ground. So reach up and lift. So you're getting a calf raise here as well, okay? So reach, and then your heels up and down. Reach, up, down, reach, up, down. Two more, reach, up, down. One more, reach, up, down. Very good. And then quick question, would you folks be interested in doing some work for your balance, to improve your balance as well? Thumbs up? Yeah? Okay. All right. So my Wednesday class, we do strength and balance. You folks let me know. We could always add that into this class if you guys want to. And we could spend like 10 or 15 minutes doing stuff like that, okay? So let's do some balance work then. So we're gonna do slow high knee marches, okay? So we're pretty much gonna do this motion right here. You're gonna go as high as you can, but in order to improve your balance, we have to slow it down a lot, okay? So now you're gonna be doing slowly up, and if you feel nervous, then just put your foot down, okay? So then slowly, 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 and then slowly. So you're gonna work on your balance the more time you are just on one foot. So if you're doing it too fast, then you're spending less time on that one foot, so it's not really helping your balance. You're getting more of a cardio workout. So just bring it up slowly. It just helps break up the class. Sometimes stretching for an hour and 15 minutes can be a lot of just stretching, so this component, I like adding it, okay? All right, so next we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do a tandem stand. So is anyone on my Wednesday class here, by chance? Okay, a couple of you? Okay, great. So we did this on last Wednesday. So one right foot in front of your left. Okay, right foot in front of your left. Okay, so but in this position, we're just gonna stand here, okay? We're not gonna do anything, we're just standing here. So pay attention. Usually from this position, you might feel your ankle shaking already. If you don't feel safe, have your chair that we were just with, have it nearby and just have your hand over it. So if you feel like you're gonna fall, you could just lightly tap it, okay? Now it gets a little bit more challenging. So we're here and we're gonna turn left to right. If you feel unsafe, just separate your feet and you'll be fine, okay? So, or have that chair nearby. So looking left, right, left. And we're still getting a neck stretch, so Technically, we're still doing some joint mobility and flexibility here. Up and down. All right, stop. And then this next one's very important that you trust for your safety. We're gonna be in that same position and we're gonna close our eyes. If you're not comfortable closing your eyes, don't close them. And if you feel like you're falling, open your eyes and then just separate your stance, okay? So don't try to just make it work, just safety's first, okay? So right foot in front of your left. And again, if you wanna have your hand over your chair, that's fine. But let's close our eyes. If that feels too scary, just open your eyes and separate your feet. We're just gonna do this for 15 seconds. And open them. Okay, good. All right, everyone that's on camera is still on camera. I was hoping no one would disappear from the screen right now. So, all right, let's get a little bit of a break from our feet. Sometimes when we're just standing on one foot, our arches could get tender. So just separate your feet so they relax a little bit, and let's do trunk rotations. So just gently turn left to right. Okay, so just try to, with every turn, maybe you could rotate a little bit more. Maybe find a spot on the wall behind you, and with every turn you get to see a little bit further. Okay, let's go ahead and do our ab circles. So for this one, same position, but we're gonna hinge at the hip, keep your back straight, cut across, pump back this way, cut across, and repeat on the other side. Okay, so we're doing about 5 of these on each side. I think I mentioned this is one of the stretches that I do before I go on a walk or if I go jogging. I like doing this stretch because it warms up your back, warms up your hip flexors and your hips. So it's a good stretch. I like the stretches that stretches multiple areas of your bodies together. And last one. Very good. Okay, next we're gonna do big hula hoops. So just here and then just big hip circles. So just exaggerate the circles. Just make them as big as you can. You should feel it right there on the inside of your hips, maybe even your glutes. Switch directions. Very good. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and do our tandem stance, but now we're gonna go with our left foot in front of our right. Okay, so now left foot in front of our right. The first round, we did right in front of our left. So you might notice that one foot may be a little bit more shaky, maybe one foot's a little bit, it hurts a little bit or it's a little tight. And sometimes you might feel that all of your weight is on your back foot and not on your front foot. So if you feel like that's happening, you might just want to shift your hips a little bit forward so both feet, have the same amount of pressure. All right, let's look left to right. So again, getting the neck stretch, and then also throwing off your balance where we're testing our balance here. So again, if you have the chair nearby, I recommend hovering your hand over it, and when you don't feel safe, just tap it or hold it up and down. Okay, and then this is, again, be very careful. We're gonna close our eyes for 15 to 20 seconds. And if you don't feel safe, open your eyes and just separate your feet. and open your eyes. Very good. We're all there. Okay, perfect. All right, so next is gonna be balance, but also some hip mobility. Okay, so this is called a standing hip opener. Okay, so we're here, we're gonna drive our right knee up. While we're here, we're gonna rotate that out and then down. And then we're not gonna touch the floor, okay? We're still floating, then up, in, and back. And that's 1. We wanna do 5, okay? So you could, again, if you have that chair nearby, you could hold on to it or just gently use it. Okay, try to drive that knee as high as you can. Rotate that. We want our torso upright. We don't want to be rotating with the leg. 3, 4, and last 1. 5. All right. Shake that off. That leg that was standing still got pretty sore and tired. So that's usually what happens. So get a little break, shake it off. All right. If we're ready, let's do our other leg. So same idea, okay? So this right leg is fixed. Left knee comes up, out, down, here, in, down. That's 1. 2, 3, 4, and 1 more. 5. Very good. Awesome. Let's shake that off. We're gonna do a stretch for our hamstrings, okay? So this one, you may have done it before with me. We're just gonna slide our hands down and my hips are coming down too. Sliding my hands down to my ankles, I'm holding on to my ankles, and then I'm just stretching up and then down. Okay, so do anywhere between 8 to 10 of these, whatever you're comfortable with. Very good. All right. Awesome. I'm gonna go ahead, grab my chair. We'll be back on our chair now. Grab some water if you like. I'm drinking water with electrolytes. Let me see. All right, so we did our hip openers earlier with the standing and the rotating. So now I'm just gonna sit towards the end of my chair and I'm gonna bring my right leg out. And instead of just holding it there, I'm gonna use my hand to provide a little bit of stability. And I wanna keep my torso upright. I don't wanna be here like this, I wanna be straight, okay? All right, so we'll hold this for about 20 to 25 seconds. Okay, let's switch. So bring that leg in, left leg goes out. Okay. We're gonna work on our piriformis, which is some muscle that's deep within our glute. So right ankle on that left knee. Okay, so hopefully we can get that ankle up there. All right, gently push down on that knee or just rest your arm on it. Apply a little bit of pressure. I'm just here, putting some pressure on that knee. Right now, bringing that knee up. Gonna just hug it out here with the leg. Now I feel that on the length of that piriformis. Very good, switch. So now left leg on that left ankle on that right knee. Let's add some pressure on that knee, so just lean on it or push down. Let's add some pressure on it. All right, let's hug it, knee up. Wrap your arm around that knee. Very good. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and do, this one doesn't, just this body part doesn't move very much, but we're gonna lift that leg and move it out, okay? So what you're gonna do is just do this here. If you're really tight in this area, you might just have like a little bit of movement, but let's try to rotate that out and then in. If you place your hand here, you'll feel that muscle activating. Okay, so just, but I'm using my hands to elevate my foot, okay, or elevate my leg. So rotating that. One more on the other side, so lift, and then here. Two more. Last one. Very good. All right, great. Just gonna rotate here at an angle. So next is we're gonna sit towards the front of the chair, but then recline back. Bring your leg up against you and then extend that lower leg. Okay, so this is working on your hamstring. So you'll see runners do this on the floor. So they'll be on the floor, and we'll do it sometime here. And you just do the same thing. You're laying down on the floor. Sometimes when I'm really tired and really sore and tight sometimes, before I get out of bed, I do this on my bed before I take my first step. So you could do some stretches in your bed before you even get up. So let's switch. Okay, and this next one's we're gonna hold on to the chair. I'm gonna push and drop that heel, rotate it back, almost like a bicycle. All right, switch. And one more. Very good. Okay. Next one is my feet are flat, and I'm just gonna do 20 calf raises, so heels come off the ground, and just stretching on those muscles of the soleus and gastrocnemius. Okay, now my toes. I want my toes, so my toes, if I raise my toes up and down, it's working on this front muscle. So if you've ever had shin splints or go walking a lot and you feel that pain on that front part of your leg, it's either that your calves are too tight or this muscle's too tight, and sometimes it could be your shoes might be time for replacement. Okay, let's elevate the right foot and we're gonna trace the letters of the alphabet. Okay, so from A to Z. Just do big movement. Once you're done, go to the other foot. There's a lot of snapping on this ankle. Alright, very good. Let's go back on our feet and finish with some standing stretches, and then we'll move down to the floor eventually. So grab some water. Alright, let me lift this again. Alright. So I'm just gonna have this here as well. Okay, so we did our high knee. So this is gonna be not just balance, but also balance and strength, okay? So I'm gonna have my chair here. So I would recommend having a chair because this is, like I mentioned, it's gonna be a little bit of a strength movement. So for this, what I want you to do is we're gonna just hover and we're gonna tap right or tap front of you, tap to the right of you, and tap behind you, okay? So when you're reaching, you're gonna feel that your knee bends slightly, so that's like a very miniature squat movement, okay? So we're gonna do this motion 5 times, okay? So 1, 1, 1, and then now left side, 1, 1, 1, okay? So you'll feel that tension going on, right? So that's 1 round, we're gonna do 5. So 2, 2, 2, switch, 2, 2, 2. Now 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, and 3. Okay. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, and 5. Very good. Okay, now more of a stretch. So I'm just gonna use the chair here. So what I'm gonna do is hold onto the chair and just swing my leg back and forth. So if you have a little bit of mobility, that's okay, we're working on that. But if you could go a little bit more and swing across, what we don't want is you to turn your whole torso, okay? So just have your torso facing the camera. Ready? So let's do about 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Right? Rest a little bit because you might feel that pressure going on here. Okay. All right. If you're ready, do the other side. And if you do 10, that's okay. But yeah, we're just trying to warm up the hips, do a little bit more. So go ahead and begin. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Good. Right, this next one, we're still similar in motion, but now we're on our side. So now it's gonna go forward and backwards, okay? So now I'm here and 1. So it's gonna be more like a kick. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I think 10's good. Right. When you're ready, switch to the other side. Do your other hip. So that's really working on the tendons from your leg that connect directly to your hip. Just getting a full stretch right there. Very good. Alrighty. We'll move that off to the side. Alright. We're gonna do a tightrope exercise. So we're just walking the tightrope. So you wanna have a nice long stretch of your room. So if you could find that hallway or long stretch, we're just gonna put one foot in front of the other and just walk like so. So you could just start doing that. Once you reach the end of your room, just go in reverse, go backwards. So once you're here, you could just go backwards. Okay. Here. Very good. All right. If that was easy enough for this next round of the tightrope, we're gonna do it on our toes. Okay, so heels off the floor. We're just gonna be on our toes. You're gonna feel a little bit more tension running through your calf muscle. So heels are elevated. And once you reach that end, you could go in reverse. Very good. Awesome. All right, I think that's plenty of balance work for today. If you like that stuff, like I mentioned, the Wednesday class has it, but I think we'll incorporate some of it in here as well. So go ahead and find me a stick. We're gonna do our shoulder stretches where we grab our stick here with the foam roller, or I have a broom. So if you wanna go ahead and grab an item, go ahead and grab something like this so we could stretch out our shoulders, okay? Give you another 20 seconds. Yep. So yeah, so we wanna have something rigid. I think for this one, a towel may not work. So yeah, so if you have like a broomstick, yeah, just because we are gonna be pushing that item, we really can't push a towel. So, yep, there you go, you got your broom. I've used a golf stick, an umbrella, so. All right, so we're just gonna go up and down first, right here. So you could just see the motion, just up and down. Now we could go here. And then right here, you could just go up and down. We did this earlier on the chair, but without the stick. Okay, so now we begin with our shoulder work. So grab a little bit wider, and now we're gonna guide with our left hand and push with our right hand. Okay, so we're coming here. So really apply that pressure with that bottom hand to push. All right, 30 degrees forward, so slightly forward. One more, we're gonna go at 60 degrees, so now shift a little bit over. We just want that shoulder to get all the angles it's meant to be used for. Now straight in front of you. Right in front of you. And then now towards your back, so now I'm here and I'm gonna go behind me. Okay, so my left arm's coming behind. Very good. All right, right shoulder. Ready? So left hand pushes, right hand guides, and go ahead. .30 degrees forward now, so shift a little bit. All right, 60 degrees forward. And 90 degrees, so right in front of you. All right, now towards the back. All right, now we want to go behind the back, okay? And from here, we're gonna lift up, so. And then up and down. Last one is just here, and then just. Okay, we could put this away now, okay? So put it back where it goes. All right, and then we're gonna be on the floor the rest of the time, okay? So if you wanna get your yoga mat, go ahead and do that. Or if you have a nice carpet. Okay. All right, so just get your setup going. Shift it over a little bit. Alright, so first we're just gonna, you see how my feet are? They're out behind me, the bottom of my feet are facing behind me. So from here, I just wanna sit on my heels. So hopefully you have no shoes on. If you have shoes, it's very difficult to do. So I'm just sitting. If that's too much and causing pain, then maybe hopefully this works, okay? But if you could sit, then you're gonna get some stretching on the top part of your foot. Okay, or on your feet, the muscles and the tendons. Okay, now look at my feet. Now I'm gonna bring my toes underneath. Okay, so that's gonna stretch out my arches now. So, And then gently, you don't want to slam your hips onto them, but we're here, and that's going to stretch out the bottom of your foot. And I'm just kneeling here, and you could dictate how much weight you want on it, and you could just be here, that's enough of a stretch, or you could sit on your heels. Okay, very good. We're gonna just relax your feet so they don't tighten up. Get in this lunge position, okay? And we're just gonna lean forward and back. Just shift forward. Drive that knee forward, and then your hips, you could just kind of bring them back this way. All right, let's switch. So we're here. Very good. All right, we're gonna go ahead and then just lay on the floor. So face down, belly down. And we just wanna stretch our arms in front of us and our feet behind us. And just relax right here for about 20 seconds, maybe 30. Let's bring our elbows right under our shoulders, so we're just right here, getting a light stretch on our back. All right, let's place our hands where our elbows are. Place your hands here and then push up. Okay. So now you're really feeling that stretch. All right, and from here we're gonna bring our glutes, our hips, to our feet, okay? So from here, you're gonna go back here, keep your hands where they are, and come back. You could drop your elbows. And reset. Okay, so now we are looking down. So it's very important that you have your hands under your shoulders and your knees under your hips, okay? We don't want to be here because that's not under our shoulders, and we don't want to be back here either like that, okay? So wrists under your shoulders, knees under your hips. We're gonna arch up, inhale, arch as high as you can, then exhale and arch down. Keep your head down the entire time. We're gonna do 8 of these. Okay, so that's 1, up, 2, up, 3, up, 4, up, 5, up, 6, up, and last one, inhale and exhale. Okay, very good. So get off your arms, so you rest your arms a little bit. Okay, next from here we're going to go ahead